I gotta say it's kind of a snoozer. Hey everybody, this video does once again bring us down here into the library because it's time for something many of you guys want. Me, not nearly as much. Reviews. So I believe this is now part 2 of everything I've watched thus far in 2020. Alright, so first movie of this video is The Spy Who Dumped Me. I was honestly going into this one waiting for just a dumpster fire because I've heard that that's exactly what this movie is, and in the end, it was okay. I would not rant and rave about this movie by any means, but it was okay. It had some enjoyable moments. I laughed here and there. Was it anything special? No, absolutely not. But if you're into mediocre comedies, you're probably going to at least enjoy this one to some extent. It kept me entertained. I really don't see myself wanting to ever watch this movie again. But again, it did keep me entertained for the time period that I was watching this. An hour and a half of my life I didn't feel was necessarily wasted, but an hour and a half I won't be spending on this again. So yeah, all in all, it was just okay. I don't really have too much to say about this. Mila Kunis was good in it. I'm a fan of hers. Kate was Kate. If you've ever seen her in any other movie she's ever done, same exact character, and the dudes were good as well. So anyway, Spy Who Dumped Me. It was okay. Next up was Yesterday. Now, this I really enjoyed. It was a great, interesting story about a guy who one day wakes up and nobody knows who the Beatles are except for him, and I won't spoil it, but maybe a few other people do as well. But for the most part, he's the only one who remembers the Beatles, and he knows all their music to some extent. It is amusing watching him try to remember all the words and the guitar and all that stuff to all the songs, and him struggling sometimes with what's the second verse of this song. So he is again one of the only people in the world to know who the Beatles are, remember their songs, and he uses that to his advantage because before this crazy thing happened, he was not doing well with his music career. He was just going to end it. Nobody was really listening to his stuff. He wasn't getting signed. He wasn't that big break wasn't coming for him. Looked like his music career was over. And then this happens to him, and now he's considered a musical genius because he knows all these Beatles songs, and everybody thinks that he wrote these songs and he did these songs and these are his songs. So of course, every great Beatles song is contributed or thought to be contributed by him. So everybody loves him, of course, and praise him. He becomes big and huge and famous, and then fame just doesn't work so well. Hey, Kate's in this movie as well, and guess what? Essentially playing the same character, even though she's supposed to be more of a serious character in this movie. Not so much. Anyway, so yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I loved all the Beatles music. Better than some other movies I've seen that used Beatles music where they just randomly break out into, singing or something like that, which that sometimes, it's fine. Other movies are good, but it's just kind of music for the sake of, okay, now it's a Beatles song. Whereas in this movie, the reason why you're hearing Beatles music is because he's, performing it or showing it off or saying like, hey, I wrote this new song, or I have this new song, or this song's a big hit, and then you hear a Beatles song. So it was an enjoyable, fun, interesting story. I like the ending of it as well. I won't spoil anything for you guys, but I thought it ended pretty well. So yeah, I would recommend Yesterday. If you're into the Beatles, it's definitely one worth checking out. Honestly, I'd say the only thing that could have made this movie better was if instead of the Beatles, it was the Monkees. My glasses are so incredibly dirty. Then I had to check out Macho Man, the Randy Savage story. And I'll be completely honest with you guys, and this is not a spoiler because they literally start the documentary out telling you this. Randy Savage is dead. Did you guys know that? I didn't. I don't follow wrestling. I mean, Macho Man Randy Savage is definitely a time period of wrestling that I was into. Not when he went to WCW or the whole Attitude Era thing, but I mean back, late 80s, like 91, 92 time period when I was actually still watching wrestling. Yeah, I grew up on Macho Man and snapping into a Slim Jim and the pillow, the body slam pillow things. Those were awesome. I loved all that stuff. I had the Macho Man Randy Savage little action figure, of course. So yeah, Macho Man was definitely one of the wrestlers that I used to watch as a kid growing up and was one of my favorite wrestlers. But I don't really follow wrestling anymore, so I did not know that not too many years passed. He actually passed away. Kind of sad to hear that. Heart attack. Apparently had a heart attack, then crashed into a tree. Apparently the tree wasn't all that bad. Him and his wife sustained very minor injuries with the crash into the tree, but of course the heart attack is what killed him. So yeah, I did not know that. Interestingly, they started the documentary out. It wasn't like the movie, started out with the beginning of his life and progressed. And oh no, he's dead. What? It was like, oh, he's dead. Like they just come right out and say that. So I didn't know that. But anyway, interesting story. I found this just crazy interesting. Again, as somebody who grew up watching the Macho Man wrestle, this was a great watch. I love these WWE, WWF, WWE documentaries. They're always just amazing. Again, the only thing that really bugs me about these is, like I said, with WWF, I don't get why they changed that. I understand why, they're not the WWF anymore. I get it. The name changed. Okay, so everything from that time period where you changed is now WWE. But I hate when they're discussing things from the past and they say WWF. Or I'm sorry, WWE, when it's WWF. I mean, there'll be like a sign behind them that says WWF, and they'll be like, oh yeah, WWE. And I'm like, it says WWF? Like, what? Like, look at the screen. So it drives me crazy. It's the only thing that drives me nuts. I think that, I don't know. I don't know what happened in I don't know if it was a lawsuit or whatever between them and the World Wildlife Federation or whatever, but something should have been in that contract saying like, okay, for now on we're WWE, but everything else in the past, we can still say it was WWF because it was. Drives me crazy. Drove me nuts during this movie. But otherwise, besides that, it's fantastic. So Macho Man, the Randy Savage story, if you're into, in my opinion, classic wrestling, or you're into just wrestling documentaries in general, this is one you have got to see. Oh, I should have ended that review with, oh yeah, but missed opportunity. The next movie was Dark Crimes. I'll be honest, not the biggest fan of this movie. And I know that's probably gonna get some flack, because I know a lot of people did like this movie. I heard good things going into this film, which is why I was very excited to see it, especially Jim Carrey in a more serious role. I wanted to see that. I've seen him do some other more serious characters, and I liked him, so I was curious about this one. It was slow. It was boring. It didn't really go anywhere. It's Jim Carrey. He's a detective and he's trying to solve this case, and there's twists and there's turns, and sort of a spoiler, but not really. There is a twist at the end, which I was like, okay, but it didn't really blow me away or make me go, oh, I didn't see that coming. I mean, it was just kind of like, oh, that's a twist. All right. Like, it was so slow paced. There was never really anything in this movie that I found all that exciting. I gotta say it's kind of a snoozer. I did not enjoy Dark Crimes. Again, I don't know. I'm sure some people out there are gonna really like this movie. Maybe you like a slower paced cry movie, but for me, I couldn't get into it. I didn't really care about what was happening in the movie because I couldn't get into the characters. I couldn't really get into the story. I don't know. It's just some dude trying to solve a case, and it never really amounted to much of anything, in my opinion. It was just maybe it's real to life. This is what it would really be like to solve a crime. It's not Hollywood solving a crime where there's gun shootouts and car chases and all kinds of crazy stuff happening. This is pretty tame and just people just walking around and talking. So, Dark Crimes, I don't know. Again, I'm sure some of you guys out there like this movie, and I'm sure I'll get some flack for not liking this movie, but in the end, I just found it kind of boring and dull, and I can honestly say I will never be watching this one again. And last but not least for this video anyway, is a movie that I had to watch because the Rickster Down to Movie, give him a sub, that's YouTube / Down to Movie. He wanted me to watch this movie. He kept telling me how great it is, and like every time we come over, he'd be like, you gotta watch it. Have you watched it yet? You gotta watch it. It's such a good movie. So I finally did, and that was Revenge. And it was all right. So I felt kind of bad because after I watched it, I was like, oh, I really wish I could say like, oh, that was so amazing. You were so right. But in the end, I thought it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I just didn't love it. I wasn't blown away by it. There was nothing about this movie that made me go, wow. It just kind of made me go, okay, that was enjoyable. Fun, crazy story. I liked it. It is fun to watch this, girl get her revenge. It's sort of a, I mean, it is what it is. It's a revenge movie. Bad things happen to this girl and she comes back to kick some butt. But that's another thing too. She comes back to kick some butt. And I'm a little, I don't know how to take this movie because the movie confused me in the sense that it seemed very serious, like not serious. It seemed like set in kind of a realism. All this stuff's happening and it's sort of realistic. There's nothing about this movie that makes you go like, oh, like there's something supernatural happening or something crazy happening or oh, this takes place in some world where like like weird things can happen. It really just seemed like it was just normal everyday stuff was going on and something really bad happened to this girl and she should be dead. Like I don't quite understand how she came back to get her revenge. Again, it just seemed weird. She literally lost all her blood. Every last drop of blood in this girl is gone. Like I mean, you see the amount of blood that has come out of this girl. There is nothing left inside her whatsoever. She is completely empty of all her fluids. So that's one thing. Like, there's no way she was going to survive what happened. See, I don't want to spoil too much. There was no way she was going to survive what happened to her, and then getting out of that, and then walking around and doing stuff. And there's that scene where she like kind of like sort of heals herself. There's just so much weird stuff in this movie where it's like, I don't know. Am I supposed to be like, okay, this is like, am I supposed to be taking this as something realistic, like a realistic setting, a realistic, like, oh, something like this could really happen to somebody? Or am I supposed to be taking it like, oh no, this is more of like a fantasy type movie? Like, it's conflicting like so much throughout this movie, and that it was actually one of the things that bugged me about it. If it was going to be over the top, like, like over, crazy over the top. Okay, I know. Okay, this could never happen in a million years. What's going on right now? This is nuts. This is so Hollywood. This could never happen, but it's fun. It's interesting. All right, I'm in for the crazy, weird ride. Let's do it. That's okay. I love movies like that. But when you're like, okay, there's some of those moments, but then there's other moments where like, no, this is just, the real world. This is just a regular movie. This is how things go down. Like, it's weird, conflicting. So that kind of bugged me about the movie. I didn't really know how to take this movie. I didn't know what kind of movie it was. But otherwise, it's a fun story. Would I recommend this one? Yes. I don't see myself, sitting back down to rewatch it again anytime soon. With that being said, I mean, if the wife or something like that was like, hey, I wanted to see Revenge, I would sit down and rewatch it with her. But am I going to be pulling it off the shelf for me personally to sit down and rewatch it anytime in the near future? Probably not. It kept me entertained. It was a fun movie. Again, a girl getting her revenge on some very nasty dude to do some very nasty things. There's some graphic. There's some graphic messed up stuff in this movie. I'll give you that. You've been warned. It was enjoyable. So I would recommend it if it's something you want to see, but I wouldn't say it's anything you have to see. And again, I don't see myself ever really watching this one again unless somebody else wants to watch it. I just happen to sit down and check it out with them. I'm sure it would keep me entertained for a second time, but I just have no desire to really check it out again. So there you go. That is it. So, all right, guys, that was it for, I believe, again, part 2 of what I've watched thus far in 2020. I hope you guys are enjoying these review videos. I am doing these for you guys. So many of you guys keep telling me to review movies, so I do it. Plus, people send me stuff, and I kind of just feel obligated to review the movies anyway. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. If you want to see more, if you want me to keep doing these review videos, leave a comment down below. Let me know. I will certainly keep doing them. I plan to do. I want to kind of maybe do like one a week or something like that, or whatever my watching. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Schedule, watching schedule. That's what I wanted to say. Whatever my watching schedule permits, I want to bring you guys videos. Like I said, every weekly or however often I need to do this. I'm gonna go now. So, all right, guys, that is it. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and of course, check down below for links to Patreon, where you can help support the show. Spreadshirt, where you can grab yourself Cinema Sickness t-shirts. I just ordered myself a whole bunch of these. So Cinema Sickness t-shirts, and of course, check down below for a link to the Cinema Sickness store. It came from Cinema Sickness on Instagram, where you can pick up all kinds of awesome media, movies, books, video games, music, retro toys, collectibles, movie memorabilia, all kinds of fun stuff like that. And as always, proceeds from the store are the most important for the show. They really are what keep the show going. So again, that is it. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. So I wasn't really sure what I was going to put at the end of this video because it's a review video. What do I put after the credits? I have no idea. And then I realized I actually have a pickup to show you guys. So for anybody out there who actually watched this entire video, probably not a lot of you, you're going to get to see a pickup of mine. I got Boardwalk Empire Season 1 on Blu-ray. I actually bought this off of Rick. He was getting rid of it, and I saw it in his piles of titles he was getting rid of, and I went, ooh, I need that. This is the last the last season of, where did I even get C from? The last season of Boardwalk Empire I needed on Blu-ray. I had it on DVD, and I had the entire rest of the series on Blu-ray, so now I have all of Boardwalk Empire on Blu-ray. That is awesome. For $5, that was a great deal in my opinion. So very happy to have this entire series now on Blu-ray, and maybe now I'll actually watch it.